It's a melting pot. And for me, that's what I love about this city, is just the diversity throughout. Archer here in Midtown. First of all, Midtown's my favorite part of New York City. I absolutely love Midtown. And as a New Yorker, sometimes you forget how special the city is. Being able to meet with clients and meet with people that are outside of New York, it's a fun thing for me because you kind of see the city through their eyes every time you're doing a tour. We're centrally located. We're close to Bryant Park, we're close to Times Square. You've got fantastic shopping right in Herald Square. All those fun things, we have it.
It is a lot to take in. This is the place that everyone sees, but very few people have been. It's amazing. There's no place like it. There's so much here and so many people. You walk a few blocks and it's a completely different neighborhood. And that's just the beauty of New York City.
What gets me excited is whenever I take somebody to our rooftop spyglass and they step off the elevator and they see that view, my breath gets taken from me because I forget how beautiful the Empire State Building is. I forget when you're staring at this city, how small you are in such an amazing place. And it kind of reminds you how special it is to be in New York.
I want to create spaces that have meaning beyond just what the materials are, that they're lasting. It's really about telling stories. Spaces that relate to that local environment that aren't about design for design's sake. When you walk into Archer, what is the first thing that you see? You see a fireplace. The first view is something that feels a little bit more residential, a little bit more like being home. A brick that could have been here from the previous building, juxtaposed with a refined piece of millwork that instead of the traditional frame and panel that would have had a raised molding, we put a metal reveal. So it's a touch to the modern, but it's a respectful nod to the past. When Archer came about, the furniture and the artwork became critically important to the story of Archer because Archer was someone who had a very eclectic taste, traveled the world. So we imagined that Archer would love music, would love artwork, would collect local artists. The final product speaks to the fact that it's a natural extension of the story, but the story is authentic in a sense that it relates to a specific location. We design spaces for people to fall in love, for people to meet, for people to engage, for people to work, for people to play.
We call it fabric because it's in the garment district, but also because we wanted to really put forth the fabric of New York cuisine. So we're trying to represent every ethnic group in New York City on one menu in a shareable format. I think for me, it's just creating and executing. Having happy employees, happy cooks, executing at a very high level. I'd say if you're looking for a really great dining experience and to taste a lot of interesting foods from all over the world, I think it's a really great place.
We have this phenomenal hotel. We have all of this beautiful architecture framed by the architecture of New York City. So I really wanted to take that and put it on a plate. I wanted to make sure when dessert came out, people's cameras came out as well. It's a really long process in creating a dessert, from the initial inspiration, menu testing, development, tastings, and then when something finally goes on the menu, the most satisfying part is watching it go to the table.
You turn around and you're right in the dining room and you see someone really enjoying what you've created. And that's what brings it all around, because we're making food for someone to experience.
What Archer wants to do is make our guest experiences very memorable. Everything in the guest rooms is very well thought out because we knew the rooms were intimate, but we also wanted the guest to experience everything. We will do a turn down every night that is somehow tied into New York City because we want our guests to experience New York. Archer makes a difference. Archer stands out. Archer is not your typical New York City hotel because of our experiences and because of our staff. When travelers come to New York, they have a lot of options, and Archer is unique, and we promise to make their experience more memorable than any other hotel in the city.
We wanted to create a very cool, trendy, hip space but not have it feel cold or pretentious. I think the sincerity of the staff and the focus on a very unique experience for the guest just shines through. We're only here because the guest is here. And that's really refreshing to work in a team that is so dedicated to the guest experience and making it a positive one.